Okay, just a quick video to talk about the blend containers. Blend container is a container that can play multiple files and, well, blend them together, like the name suggests. Like in a DAW, when you have overlapping regions and multiple tracks, you can play at the same time. So to get started, click on our workspace, create a new blend container. We're going to call this engine. And for now, we're going to put 4 sound effects objects in here. So I have the 4 here. I'm just going to drag them in so they're... Add them to the blend container. You just select them, pull them in there. So now we have these 4 objects, just normal sound effects objects. And a blend containers, like other containers, contain all different types of containers. So if we want to hear it, we can see the contents here. So the tab down here is blend and then contents. So if we hit play, that's everything playing all at once, which is not really what we want. So we want to make a blend track. Once we make one, it's going to show up in our, it's like a playlist over here that we can add our tracks to, similar to other containers. So new blend track in our blend container. So I'm going to call this, we're going to be adding to this later, so I'm going to call this engine on load. And for now, hit crossfade. You'll see why in a minute. So let's go back to contents. And now we have our engine on load blend track. So we're going to select all 4 of these, drag them over here. And this is the actual order they show up in the blend track. And you'll see how we possibly might want to change the order. And we have to do it here and not in the actual blend track. So we don't see anything yet. Our regions will pop up over here. We need to add a RTPC first. So we haven't created it yet. We're going to make a new one called engine speed. So in the real world, this is what the game would be calling. This is a parameter the game would call as your engine is speeding up and slowing down. So you can see we have our 4 regions here, our 4 sound objects, and we can drag them just like in a DAW. So these already loop. They're short files that already loop. So it's kind of important to know that this isn't the actual length of the file. This is the time that that loop is going to play. So we're not increasing the length of that loop. We're increasing the length of duration where it will play when this parameter is fed to this instance. So probably made it sound more confusing than it is. So one thing I didn't do yet is I need to, once we imported these, I actually need to loop all of these because they're currently just going to play as one-offs. We want them looping. So now we have this looping sound, and when our parameter is over in the idle range, engine speed is between 0 and 20 roughly. It's going to play our idle. And right around 21, it's going to start to crossfade into our slow speed. Here, if we keep it here, it's looping. So that's literally just the loop of this sound object. This file is nicely looped. So you can see this is only a 2.5 second loop. within this blend area. This is the whole, it'll keep looping as long as you're in this area. As long as the value is roughly between 0 and 20. So it'll keep looping that object. And if you adjust these so that there's nothing there, then we will actually get no audio. So for this, that's not what we want. To do that, so what kind of things would we want to possibly automate as our parameters? So engine's getting faster. So I would say volume. And so we're going to add a volume parameter. We need to tell it which volume automation. We need to tell which parameter it's going to be responding to, because we have multiple parameters. So we're going to use the same engine speed. So we don't want it that drastic. So let's say the engine speed is 0. We actually don't hear anything. It should be playing now, but there's no volume. Maybe goose the volume a little bit there at the end. Could even do something more drastic at the very end. All right. What's another parameter we might want to automate? Of course, pitch. Everybody loves pitch. So in general, as things increase in intensity, it's common for them to increase in pitch. So again, we want to be affecting pitch with the same real-time parameter control, or TPC. And not quite as drastic as volume. We'll drag this down a little bit. And just kind of gradually increase the pitch. Maybe even start a little bit lower in general. Gradually increase the pitch. Maybe at the very end we can really go nuts. So that's a little bit too much, but you get the idea. So then you can have multiple tracks of these, so multiple parameters controlling multiple things at the same time. And we'll get into more of that, but this is a basic blend container.